Good day, everyone. I am Brisel, and today we will be discussing about the evidence of evolution by John Baptiste Lamarck. So, let's start our discussion. Who is John Baptiste Lamarck? So, he is one of the best-known early evolutionists. He is an early proponent of the idea that biological evolution occurred and proceeded in accordance with natural laws. And also, he introduced two theories of evolution. He is known for his surname, Lamarck, and that he is also a soldier and a biologist. So what are those two theories that he proposed? First is the law of use and disuse. So this law is stated that when certain organs become specially developed as a result of some environmental need, then that state of development is hereditary and can be passed on to progeny. So later we will discuss that further. And next one is the inheritance of acquired characteristics. So it's stated there that if an organism changes during life in order to adapt to its environment, those changes are passed on to its offspring. Inheritance of such a characteristic means its reappearance in one or more individuals in the next or in succeeding generations. So in this specific theory, the inheritance of acquired characteristics, it stated that if one adapts to its environment, those changes can be passed on to its offspring. So for example, there is a woman who lives in a very hot country, for example in Africa. It is very hot, thus she produces a lot of melanin, causing her skin to get tanned. So in his theory, he presumed that the offspring of that woman will also get tanned since he acquired those characteristics to adapt to its environment. So let's have more examples. One of the most famous examples of John Baptiste Lamarck is the elongated neck of the giraffe. So it is an example used to convey the concept of use and disuse. So Lamarck claimed that giraffe has a short neck ancestor. So it is believed that giraffe has this short neck because the resources and the food available during those time can be found on the ground. However, over time, since the resources in the ground depleted, the giraffe stretches its neck to reach above. In the second picture, the giraffe keeps stretching its neck to reach. In the third picture, as you can see, it can reach the food above. However, it is still stretching. And in the last picture, the neck progressively becomes longer. So, as stated in the use and disuse in the previous slide, a certain organ becomes specially developed as a result of some environmental need. So, since the neck of the giraffe is continuously used so that it can survive, it can adapt to its environment, it continuously progresses. So, next example is so let's discuss first what is atrophy. So atrophy is when a specific body part is not in use, it will deteriorate, decrease in size, and atrophy. So when we say deteriorate, it will gradually lose its specific function, and sooner or later in the near future, this specific organ will be abolished in that entire system of that body. So a first example of this is the human appendix. So many scientists and experts believe that the human appendix before was bigger compared to what is it now. It is because that the human before had a diet of leaves and some things that are very hard or very fibrous. And one uses of human appendix is that it has that specific bacteria that is used to digest food naturally and easily. However, when the ancestors discovered the diet of fruits, which is very easier and much convenient for our digestive system to digest, the human appendix becomes smaller and smaller in the course of evolution. Another example is the elephant trunk. So this is the fossil records of elephants. As you can see, the early or the ancestors of elephants has this small trunk because the same with giraffe, the resources and food is available below or in the ground. However, as the course of evolution progresses, the resources depleted, causing the trunks of elephants to grow longer. Another example, this is under the inheritance of acquired characteristics. First is the snakes. So it is believed that the snakes have evolved from lizards, and lizards have legs and limbs uses them to move. However, during evolution, snakes do not need those limbs and just able to crawl, and those limbs that have removed has been passed on to its offspring, having our snakes now who has no limbs. Another one is aquatic birds. So it is believed that these aquatic birds has evolved from the terrestrial birds that is walking on the land. However, in order to survive and swim in the ocean, aquatic birds has adapted to its environment and has evolved and adapt this trait, a web foot, just like what frogs have, causing them to survive and able to swim. Another one is flightless birds. It is also believed, or scientists claim, that these flightless birds know or evolved from the one who can able to fly. However, the resources and food is abundant in the ground, causing these birds to stay underground. Later on, these birds lost its function on their wings and lost its ability to fly. However, even with the Lamarck's theory and their examples or proofs that those laws or theories are possible, there are still evidences that oppose this theory. One famous example or one famous theory is the theory of germ plasm. This theory was proposed originally by August Weismann in 1894. So according to him, the characters are transferred to the next generation by the germ cells. So we will discuss first what are the two cells, and the two cells are the somatic cells and the gamete cells. As you can see in the slides, somatic cells are our body cells. So example of this is our skin, liver, our eyeballs. And these gamete cells are the egg cell and sperm cell. So when we say sex cells, these cells contains our chromosomes, our traits, our characteristics, our alleles that expresses our traits that we can see. And August Weismann believed that the somatic cells or changes in the somatic cells cannot be passed on to its offspring, and these are his example. August Weismann conducted an experiment about the mice. So he experimented about the white mice in where parents' tails are being cut, as you can see, because he believes that somatic cells cannot be passed on to his offspring. So he cut the tails and he observed it on its 5th generation. So those parents has been reproducing its offspring 5 times, but there are no offspring that has no tails, meaning that the changes in the somatic cells cannot be expressed or cannot be passed on its offspring. More examples is the borrowing of ear pinna. So there are a lot of adult women or women who wears earrings, who loves piercings for them to express or for whatever purposes they have. However, when they produce an offspring, the baby has no hole or bar of their ear pinna, which means that the changes in the softest part of our ear cannot be passed on to our offspring. Next is the foot binding of China's women. This is a culture in China in where women wrap their feet or tightly wrap their feet in order for their feet to look smaller, to change its shape to change its shape and size. However, this trans women who has this lotus feet, the one that you can see who has changes in its compared to its normal feet is what we call the lotus feet. Parents of these cannot pass this to their offspring. Their offspring has still normal feet, and this cannot be passed on. Another one is neck rings in Myanmar. So this is also a this is also a culture in Myanmar in where women wears brass coils onto their neck because they believe, or the standard of the society believes, that the longer your neck, the more beautiful you become. So in this, women with long necks, since they have brass coils, cannot pass it to their offspring. So children still wear these brass coils so that they can also achieve what their parents have. And last one is the human eye. So the law of use and disuse claim that the more you use that specific organ, the more it will get stronger. However, in the human eye, as you can observe, the human eye was continuously used every day, almost every day. Yes. However, as you grow older, it gets dysfunctional. For example, the cataract. Cataract is an illness that is also somehow related to aging. The more you age, the more you are exposed to these specific illnesses, since it can, and sooner or later, as you can see, many old people has problems with their eyes, which really opposes the theory of Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. So, for more information, you can access these references in your screen. And that's all, and thank you so much.